welcome to Pink with an Egyptian. I'm your girl, Pink Isis, and on this channel, we learn, we thrive, we grow, we teach, and we become the best versions of ourselves. And did I mention, every time you tune into this channel, your vibration raises. Now, before we get into our lesson, we're going to get started with a Bible verse. Today's Bible verse is 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 through 7. Love is patient, is kind, does not envy, does not brag, is not proud, does not behave itself inappropriately, does not seek in its own way, is not provoked, takes no account of evil, does not rejoice in unrighteousness, rejoices with the truth, bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. So that was a pretty deep Bible verse, and it actually correlates with today's lesson of how are we seeking a ride or die. So today we will learn, why do we seek a ride or die? What is a ride or die? And is that really what we need? So today we're going to leave with the understanding of what a ride or die is and what you should be looking for in love and dating, okay? And when to run away, okay? So, moving on. Now, one day I had saw a post, I think it was like on Facebook or Instagram, and I thought it was so hilarious. And this was years ago. And the post read, it was not a ride or die, because I have questions like, where are we riding to, and why does someone have to die? And I promise you, that's me. Do not come to me with no ride or die vest. Do not. Where are we riding to, and why does someone have to die? Why can't we all be happy? That's what I'm going to ask you. Okay, so moving on to lesson 1. Society's perception of a ride or die is a woman usually who rides for her man. And what that means is if he's out here in the streets doing something crazy, she got his back, you know. If she has his back and she's riding for him with everything. But it's not always the good ride or die. And we're going to kind of get into that as well. Because there's a difference between loving your husband, loving your boyfriend, loving your girlfriend, loving your wife, being a great friend, being a great person. And there's also a difference when you are knowingly inserting yourself into others' BS that has nothing to do with you. So we have to be aware of that as well. And we have to know that we can love and we can be happy in love. But we don't have to do the ride or die, okay? Why do we got to die? Why can't we just be happy? Okay, that's what I'm saying. Why? But that's society's perception. Ride or die is the new way in. And I've even had guys ask me, are you a ride or die? And that's an immediate cutoff. I'm just being honest with you. That's a huge cutoff. Do not ask me if I'm a ride or die. Now, if you're asking me, will I have your back in a situation when you need it? Absolutely. If you're asking me, will I be honest with you? Absolutely. If you're asking me, will I defend you if you need it? Absolutely. But if you out here in the streets doing crazy stuff and you want me to just be that ride or die, that's not me. That's not me. And I hope the women watching this are saying that's not them either, okay? Because we're better than that. This is a new day and age, and we don't do that. Okay, moving on to step 2. Why would you want to get caught up in someone else's BS? You know, and a lot of times we don't want to. I've met a lot of women, a lot of girls, especially teenagers, over my life. Even when I was a teen, it was girls saying they were ride or dies and all of that stuff. And I would tell them then, that's not where it's at. Like, that's not where it's at. Find you a man who loves you. Find you a man who goes to work. Find you a man that's not in drama. Find you a woman that goes to work. Find you a woman that's not in drama. That's what you look for. Now, if you are a person that is drama affiliated, go for it by all means. But if you're not drama affiliated and you're looking for something real, go find that real. But ride or die, leave those titles where they're at. To be honest, I've seen a lot of situations and stories where people got caught up trying to be that ride or die. It's movies, it's TV shows, jails, prisons are full of women that were ride or dies. I'm just being honest with you. Don't get caught up in nobody else's BS. I'll tell you something. A man who loves you, a woman who loves you is not going to put you in a situation where you get caught up in any BS. Now, of course, there are situations that may arise. There's things that may happen, you know, but to insert you and expect you to jump into a situation that doesn't involve them, a situation that you caused yourself, or no. We're out here trying to live. We're trying to survive. We're trying to be happy, and we're trying to find peace in life. And we don't need any more drama in our life. So use those as red flags and warning signs. Ding, 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 ding. That this might not be the person for me. Because I'm not a ride or die. And then you have women out here pretending to be ride or dies, pretending to be hard and stuff. And then when stuff hit the fan, they're gone. And that's why I tell you from Jump Street. Am I what? Where are we riding to, and why does someone have to die? Okay? Until you can answer that, moving on to next. Life is too short to be playing these ride or die games, because as soon as you sitting down here riding for this person, and guess what? This person that got stopped, got some stuff in the car they're not supposed to have. He look at you and say, baby, you got me? You my ride or die? Yeah, I'm your ride or die. Yeah, I'm your ride or die. And guess what? You finna go take the charge for him. And he finna be out here riding with another ride or die. Now your rider has another ride or die. No, are literally innocent women in prison and jails because they took a charge for a man. And that's another thing. Any real man, whether you're a woman or a man, any real man is not going to allow or even ask you to take no charge for him. He or she is not going to do it. Especially not nobody who loves you. Come on now. Come on. And a lot of us don't have someone who tells us this. A lot of us don't really have people who may love us, so that's why we get into these connections, trying to be a ride or die or trying to be all of that. But have in the back of your mind, this person loves you, this person should be elevating me. This person should be guiding me. This person should be loving me the way I love them. This person should not be inserting me into some mess. Like, we're too old for that. Seriously. Actually, no matter how old you get, you should not be getting inserted into anyone's mess, especially not someone who says that they love you. But you would truly be surprised at how many innocent women are in jails and prisons, and they'll tell you, I was a ride or die. Some of them are doing years, some of them are just doing months behind bars, but I was a ride or die. And then you talk to them a few months after they've been in that sentence, and they'll tell you that was one of the biggest mistakes that they made. The guy that they was the ride or die for dipped out. That friend that they was the ride or die for ain't even call, won't put no money on their books, won't send them nothing, won't even visit. And that goes and shows you that ride or die stuff is just a title. It's just a title. When you love, and you look for love. And if that person can't love you authentically without excess drama, walk away. This is 2023. We not doing that. Moving on. Authenticity. We have to seek authenticity within ourselves first. Because when you're honest with yourself will tell you, that's not a good idea. Okay. I know he might want you to ride with him to go make this play or go do this, but that's not a good idea. You have to be honest with yourself. Don't push off your feelings. If your body is telling you no, if your mind is telling you no, don't do it. Don't do it. And this is something that I've learned in life. A lot of us get in situations, relationships, and things, and we feel like, why can't I find love? Why can't I find an authentic relationship? Why can't I find an authentic connection? A lot of us struggle with finding authentic relationships and authentic love because we're not being authentic with ourselves. You know in your heart of hearts that you don't need to be no ride or die. You know in your heart of hearts that you deserve better than that. You know in your heart of hearts that the person that's out here that will love you and honor you and cherish you is not going to put you in no foo-foo situation. They're not going to do it. And if you're not going to put that person that you love in a messed up situation, don't allow them to put you in a situation. Now, again, things happen. But what I'm talking about is the specific ride or die labels, ride or die titles, and those ride or die relationships where y'all just living fast. That's not where it's at. But in order for us to reach an authentic relationship, we got to be honest with ourselves. What is it that you need to work on? Okay? Because if you are seeking ride or die relationships, do you have family? Do you have support? Do you have friends? Do you have people who truly love you? Your authentic self without you having to change and pretend to be something that you're not. Because what you have to first get is support. And even if you don't have a support system, guess what? Be your biggest supporter. When you came into this world, you came into this world by yourself. Regardless of if you're a twin, if you have multiples or any of that, guess what? Each one of y'all came out one by one. That goes to show you that you came into this world by yourself. And that's all you need in God to depend on. You should be depending on yourself and God with everything you do. Don't put a relationship, a man or a woman, before yourself. And once you start putting yourself first in everything, when you get those texts, hey, can I pull up? No, I'm asleep. When you tell him, hey, I don't want you calling me after 9 o'clock, and he call you at 9:05, block, delete. You have to put in those, enforce those healthy boundaries, but in order to do that, we have to be honest with ourselves. And a lot of us sell ourselves short. Don't sell yourself short. And as a matter of fact, you're on this channel, you're not selling yourself short. Because guess what? You're watching this video and you know that Ride or Die title is not where it's at. It's not where it's at, and you deserve more. And you're going to reach more. That's what you're going to get. Because you know in your mind now that Ride or Die isn't you. And you're going to reach, if you're looking for love, true love, once you become honest with yourself, guess what, baby? Love finds you. I'm just here. Don't kill the messenger. But I'm just telling you, you tired of that ride or die situation? You tired of that ride or die scenario? Time to have some honest, solitude conversations with thyself. And once we do that, love finds you. It finds you. I don't care. You can be on the other side of the world. On the other side of the world, the love that's for you will find you. Because when we become honest with ourselves, it sends this like glitch into the universe. So the universe is like, okay, boom, I have you right here, and this is your divine counterpart right here. And he's ready, he or she is ready. I just need you to kind of get honest with yourself. Now that you're honest with yourself, guess what? Shoot, you're connected. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You will unite with your divine counterpart when the time is right. When the time is right, but it only happens after we become authentic with ourselves. Don't kill the messenger, though. Moving on to the next lesson. We have to remove the analogy out of our head of this ride or die term. I've heard many guys tell me, oh, she my ride or die. You know, I'm cheating on her with this one, but I love her because she my ride or die. She gonna be there when I need her. When I call, she coming, you know. Come on now. So we have to first change the ride or die. Cut that out, period. We don't want a ride or die. We don't need a ride or die. What you're saying when you say ride or die is you want someone to be honest with you. You want someone you can trust. You want someone who will defend you. You want someone who don't mind protecting you. You want someone who doesn't mind jumping into bat for you if need be. But you also want someone that you can lead with, you can grow with, you can learn with, you can teach, you can help, you can aid, you can become successful. That's what you should be looking for in a relationship. We're getting too old to just be dating and playing games. We're getting too old to be doing the ride or die game. We're getting too old for that. We're getting too old for that. But in order for us to change that, we must first change what we're sending into the universe. Stop sending into the universe that you want to ride or die. Stop sending into the universe that you are a ride or die, because you're not. What you want is an authentic connection and an authentic relationship. And I'm going to tell you something else. I know it's a lot of people out here that is in denial. And they will say, I don't want no honest relationship. I listen, I've heard a lot of people say this, okay? I don't want no real relationship. I just want to mess around and I want to play. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Because guess what? Under all of that messing around and under all that player talk and all of that, you're hurt. You're hurt. Because if you wasn't hurt, you would be able to be vulnerable enough to open up your mind, your body to love. Most of us can't open up our mind and body to love because we don't love ourselves. And we're also still hurt from 2, 10, 3, 6, 10 years ago from whoever that person was who hurt us. And we haven't let that go. So instead of addressing the elephant in the room, we're just going to go play around. And it doesn't work like that. Because you can play as much as you want. But guess what? At the end of the day, when you go to sleep and you got to go to bed at night, what thoughts do you think go in those players' heads? What thoughts do you think goes in their heads? Deep down, they wish they had an authentic connection. They wish they did. And that's what you should be sending into the universe. After this ride or die stuff, send it into the universe, authenticity. But in order to do that, you got to be authentic. Because that's the thing about the universe. And when I say universe, I mean universal energies. We are all in a universal energetic flow. Okay? So when you send into the energy, I want an authentic, loving man or woman that's going to be my partner and I can trust in X, Y, and Z. And guess what? If you're not an authentic, loving partner, person, everything you're telling the universe writes it all down. They're writing it down, and they keep it on a notepad. And then the universe watches you. They watch your actions. They watch what you do because the universe already got the person lined up for you. They already have the person lined up for you. And it's even better if you haven't met the person yet because they can pour into the person what you need to. So that's even better. But guess what? In order for you to get that person that you want, you have to embody that energy. And that's what most of us don't do. We don't embody the energy of love. We don't embody the energy of authenticity because if you out here being a player, you're not embodying the energy of authenticity. But if you out here pretending to be a ride or die or pretending to be something that you're not fully vibrating in your authentic energy either. So guess what? You're not going to get authentic love offers. You're going to get offers of men and women who are not vibrating in their authenticity either. And this cycle continues to repeat until we spend time in solitude with ourselves and learn ourselves and actually understand what is the pattern, because it's a pattern in everything. Moving on. Know yourself. The jails and prisons are filled with potential, literally potential. You'll sit down here, you think it's people out here who can play basketball and play football and all of that stuff in the NFL and NBA. You'd be surprised what these men and women can do in prisons and jails. You think some of these counselors and therapists are good out here? You'd be surprised what's inside of those jails. You think some of these preachers and stuff are great? You'd be surprised what you see in the jails and stuff. You'd be surprised. It's filled with potential. But it's also filled with a lot of people that were ride or dies, whether it was in a relationship or in a friendship. And guess what? Some of them will get a second chance. Some of them won't. But if you're watching this video and you got your freedom, this is your chance. Walk away from that ride or die energy, if that is you, and walk away from anybody that comes up to you with that ride or die, because that's childish. And that also is showing you where this person's mindset is if they're coming up to you, oh, I need me a ride or die. How old are you? Because that's the first thing I'm going to ask you. And I might not even stick around and let you answer it. I may just walk away. Like, what? Come on now. Prisons and jails are filled with people. And all those people in there are not guilty. A lot of those people are in there had a point to prove. They had a point to prove. Whether it was trying to prove to the big man that you was tough and you could be hard, whether it was trying to prove to your girl that you couldn't be no coward and you had to handle this, whether it was you trying to prove to your man that you got his back and you're going to be that ride or die, it's filled with all types of stories. Everyone has a different story. They got a different story. But one story that they all have at that moment is their freedom is gone. So it doesn't matter what their background was, whether they're innocent, whether they're not innocent. When you're behind those bars, they all treat you like you're one person. You're treated like you're one individual, and that's guilty. But guess what? Those people that you rode for, those friends and relationships that you rode for, 9 times out of 10, they're not putting no money on your books. They're not calling you. They're not visiting you. They're not checking on you. They're not checking on your mom. They're not checking on your siblings. They're not checking on your kids. They're not making sure you're good. They out in the streets doing the same thing that they was doing that you took that charge for, or the same thing they was doing the night that you got locked up and they got away. No, it's a whole bunch of different things, but that's why it's important to know yourself. When we know ourselves and we love ourselves, nothing can touch you. You can love and you can love as much as you want, but you still have common sense. And you also know that certain situations I'm not going to get myself into, certain things I'm not about to try to prove, and I'm not going to keep repeating myself because I said what I said, period. You know, and that's just that on that. But we have to reach a point where we become stronger minded and we love ourselves more. You have to love yourself more than anybody else that you're loving, or it's never going to work. I'm just being honest with you. Those of you watching this, you don't want to ride or die. You want someone that's honest. You want someone that you can trust, someone that you can depend on, someone you can bring home to your mother, your parents, someone that can birth your kids, someone that you can have kids for. You want someone that has your back, someone that pushes you to be the best person of yourself, someone who loves you for you authentically and does not try to change you. That's what you want. But that ride or die, we're going to have to leave those titles out because that is a lower vibrating energy too. And when you say that, it sends it into the universe to send that to you. And we don't need that. Say, send me somebody with common sense. Send me somebody that I can't control. Send me somebody that can help me and I can help them. That's what you should be seeking. But you don't need a ride or die. And the women that are out here seeking or wanting to be a ride or die for a man, you tell yourself, I love you. I love me. I love me more than anyone on this earth. And because I love me, I value me. And because I value me, I refuse to allow myself to enter any situation or scenario that will take me out of character publicly and possibly take my freedom away, because I'm better than that. Now, we're moving on to a very special segment called Messages from God. And today's message from God is, those first shall be last, and those last shall be first. And that is Matthew chapter 20, verse 16. And what God is saying in that is, it's okay. A lot of people don't understand that those ride or die titles and the ride or die relationships, when it comes down to women, they're doing it because they need love and they feel like they've never had love. So they're searching for a love that they've never had, but they feel like if they be more than who they are, or show this person that they're more than who they are, it'll keep this person. And what God is telling you is, it's okay. Sometimes some of the best, beautiful creatures don't get married to their 40, don't get married to their 50, don't get married to their 35. So, but that doesn't mean that anything is wrong with them. It just means that when we're ready and we're honest with ourselves and God is ready for us, those first shall be last and those last shall be first. So if you've always been counted out in life and career and love and whatever, those last shall be first and those first shall be last. So God is telling you that are watching this right now, your time is coming. Your season is coming. If you've ever been counted out in the past, look no more. If you've ever been looked over for opportunities, for jobs, for positions, guess what? Those first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Period. So remember that and keep that in the back of your mind. Just know your time is coming. Thank you so much for joining me here today. And by the way, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. This way you are notified when I post. And like this video if it resonated in any way, shape, or form. And if you guys are feeling a little generous and would like to leave a tip, I have my tip jar listed in the description below. Congratulations. You have taken the first steps to identify what a ride or die is. You've also taken the step to acknowledge that that is not what you are, and you're worth more than that. And I'm proud of you. So congratulations. Your vibration has risen. Everyone watching this video, love y'all. I will see y'all again, and be blessed.